Hey y'all, it's Natalie, and today I am here with my day of the 30 days of sketches. This is the sketch that I made, and so I'm going to show you a layout that I created with this sketch. I'm going to show you my thought process here. I'm thinking about using this black corrugated specialty paper with this as my main element on the page. And I'm scrapbooking a picture of me and my husband at the Moulin Rouge show. And I want it to be a Moulin Rouge vibe. So instead of leaves, I'm going to do feathers, and this is an option. But then I audition a few different papers. So I think, what if we take the background paper and make it the busy paper and then do a solid red? And I like the solid because we're going to have a lot going on with the feathers and all of the embellishments. So I really like the idea of the solid on the foreground. And I love the butterflies. So we're going to go with the butterflies just because I feel like that's another type of element that I want to incorporate into the page, a romantic vibe, if you will. So now I'm going to tear my solid paper across the bottom, and I'm going to cut the top as well. I'm going to cut it down. I've already cut the sides down. And then I'll just rough up the edges on the other three edges that are not torn. So I'm going to show you, I cut out of gold glitter and red glitter, these beautiful feather dies that I have. And then I remembered that I have these other feathers. I think these are Dina Wakley, just chipboard pieces. They did not want to take my heat embossing. So I cut out a lot of it, but I did leave it, like, that's first round. That's almost nothing. What happened? Maybe my pad wasn't juicy enough. I'm not really sure, but I also chose this black twinkle because I wanted a black, but I wanted it to be sparkly. But then this one had silver glitter, and we're clearly going with some gold. So I go in when it's not covered after like 3 tries, and I go in with some of my Nuvo, I think is that just matte black powder. I mean, look, it's still resisting a lot. But it's mostly covered, and so you can still see a little bit of the glitter in between too. So I'm here with it. I'm going to go with it because, you know, the white showing through a little bit is okay because there's white on the background with all the butterflies. So I'm just going to go ahead and arrange some of the feathers, and I know that I'm going to have to add some more later. And I'm going to go with this scallop trim at the top. And I have this like fun little calendar piece that I decided to back behind the photo. Now I'm drawing around the middle piece because I just want to know where I want to concentrate my splatter, and I'm going to go in with some Heidi Swap gold shine or whatever and some of the white linen delusion spray, and do some splatters, large and small, all the way around the edges of that paper. Now I'm going to rough up those edges like I mentioned before. And I'm also going to add a little bit of the splatter to the red paper. I'm going to do some black splatter that has a little bit of gold in it, and that same Heidi Swap shine, the gold shine. You can see some butterflies up there at the top that I try to do with some white ink. And I really kept them on there for quite a bit. But in fact, I decided not to go with them because the ink kind of looks bluish to me. I don't know, it wasn't as bright and crisp as the background white on the butterflies, so I decided to take that off. And we really don't miss it. There's a lot going on in this layout, so it's fine. Now everything's dried. I did let that dry for quite a while. Now I'm going to run out of tape, of course, when I turn the camera back on to assemble. But you don't see how long that took. I did go get a snack. You can see my robin's eggs over there on the right. I decided also that more than just a title, like the sketch shows, I wanted to do some journaling. And I realized that I didn't really leave any space for journaling on the layout. So actually, this was inspired by a layout that I made previously, and I'll link it down below. There's a video for it as well. But I based my sketch upon a layout that I created previously. So I didn't provide journaling on that layout, so it just didn't cross my mind to put a journaling spot. I pull out this fun little, what do you call it? Frame for my journaling. And I consider putting it on the photo, but I want it to go behind the journaling, but I also don't want the photo to get lost. I also want the photo to be popped up and to be special as well. So I'm trying to find enough things to go around it to make it seem as equally special as this popped up journaling that's going to be sitting on top of the frame, because it didn't quite fit into the frame and I didn't want to reprint it. And I kind of like the idea of it sitting on top of the frame. You can see it better, I think, too. I pulled out this laser cut piece set from 49 and Market because I knew it had some really dark red romantic flowers that I wanted to use. So now we're ready to commit. We're going to start sticking things down. So I'm going to put all of the feathers across the top. Again, those feathers, those black ones, giving me a hard time because nothing wanted to stick to them. Of course, now that I finally got embossing powder to stick to them, nothing wants to stick to them. But I stuck things down with my Nuvo and I tried to be patient, and I set, I used some clips or some stamping blocks or, what have you to sit on top of it, and while the glue kind of adhered to the paper. And now we're going to go in and put that trim piece on top. And then I'm going to also layer this bow glitter piece on top, and it is no one's business how long it took me to get it to stay. Don't you worry about it. I am going to stick it down just a little bit on top as well because I didn't want it to be floppy. Going to go down here and work on the photo bit. I'm going to layer a film strip bit with the calendar, and then I did put some popped dots on the back, or I am right now putting pop dots on the back of that so that'll be popped up and have dimension. Double matted it, and I'm going to put that lovely Momenta vinyl bright gold sticker sticking out on one side of it. Like I said, we were going with the vibe of the Moulin Rouge. This was my favorite movie. End of high school, going into college, I even decorated my college bedroom with this vibe. We all make mistakes, okay? And a story about love, that's going to be the title. And then the journaling just talks about how I used to love the Moulin Rouge so much, and then how we went around our anniversary time to see the show downtown, and it was so beautiful and I loved it. The music was great. I love the original movie soundtrack. It was so wonderful, informative, and they added a bunch of songs to the show, and that was cool too. So I'm just going to add a few more foliage bits around the photo from the laser cuts and then from a sticker sheet that I have. And then we're going to work over here on the rest of that title. I used a few different thickers, and I'm trying to speak fast because we're almost done. We took way longer than this video makes it seem, so I'm not gonna lie. This one took me a while. Oh, that was a cut apart a little bit from that same laser cut sheet. It was in the packaging, and I just love that little bow, so I wanted to add another bow in there. But I'll link down below to the Facebook group where the 30 Days of Sketches is, and I've loved everybody's sketch that or layout that they've already used my sketch. And if you are waiting to post your sketch or your layout on the day that the sketch posts, then that's today, and I can't wait to see what everyone does. And I will also link down below to the original layout that I made that inspired my sketch. And I'll throw my affiliate links down there too if you're feeling shoppy. Here's side-by-side sketch and layout and some close-ups. And I'll have the close-ups and the calorie added cherry on top as well. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you play along with the sketch, tag me on the socials because I just want to see what you made. I love it. I love to see it. And there's my journaling. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, y'all.